Y'all, Cardi B and Stefon might be back together. And guess what? That ain't none of your damn business. And does Cheyenne Bryant really have a doctorate degree? I don't know. She was like, mind her business. And Kevin Hart roast, did some of them go just a little bit too far? All this and more on Another Mother, episode 68. Get it!
Yeah. When I fly into the sea, somebody finding their seats. What do they say? Hey. When I fly into the sea, somebody finding their seats. What do they say? Hey. Would you like coffee, tea, or me?
Coffee, tea, or me?
That's it.
Get your coffee, get your tea, and get your love. Welcome to Another Mother. I'm your host, Lisa Renee, and this is
Ant Wild. What up?
And he's from the 916
Sack
Town.
Town.
And we Another Mother Patio.
Hey!
And wow, what's today? Today is
Friday. Couch.
Do the fighting dance, y'all. Hey! Do the fighting dance. Oh! Do the fighting dance. Hey! I'ma say it again. You better get your coffee and get your tea and get your life. Because we about shut up. Because we about to get into all of the messy stuff. But we put a positive spin on it. If you are new to our channel, welcome. Welcome. Let's get into it. And wow, what sports we got going on today?
So we gonna go fishing. We in the throes of the NBA playoffs. We gonna go fishing, as they say on the great Inside the NBA show. We gonna go a little fishing. So sorry. Sorry to my man Julian. Sorry, Julian, my guy, my dog. Sorry, Philadelphia not only had to go fishing, but they had to bring their brooms with them on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Bring them brooms. They had to bring them brooms with them. You know what I mean? They had to bring them brooms with them. New York put a East Coast whipping on them fools. The last couple games in Philly, weren't it? Philly fans were booing and all kind of crazy stuff. So Sixers is gone. I predicted Knicks in 6. I thought they would put a little more fight up. I'm actually kind of disappointed because if y'all was going to come back and beat Boston 3-1, you might as well let Boston come, because Boston definitely wouldn't have got swept. That's the beauty of matchups, though. So congratulations to the Knicks. They're moving on to the next round. And I hate to say it, they gave a valiant effort the last game. They fought. They actually could have pulled it out, but sorry, LA. You know me, I'm West Cia-Philia. I'm West Cia-Philia, but sorry, Lake Show. Lake Show's gone fishing, and they also had to bring their brooms as well. You know what I'm saying? They had to bring their brooms as well. OKC is just too much. Yeah. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Yeah.
Goodbye.
It's so hard to say goodbye. Yeah.
Yesterday. That's my one.
Yeah.
Today,
I did that just so she could do a good version of that. Because mine was a terrible version. Lake Show gave a valiant effort. Yeah. Really played the game. So where the Lake Show lost at in the 3 games, all 3 games other than the final game, all 3 games they lost in the third quarter. They played very well in the first half. It was very competitive. They were in the lead 2 of those games, if I'm not mistaken. And in that third quarter, the Thunder came out with that thunderstorm, that blitzkrieg, and the Lakers aided them with the turnovers. They had, I can't tell you how many turnovers. I think they had 8 turnovers in game 3 and the third quarter. You can't do that against the Thunder. They get out, they call pick sixes, what everybody in football understands. They get out on the break. It's too much. They have too much productivity, 1 through 12. There was still too much pressure on LeBron to have to be great at 41. And so the third quarter was a separator and the Lakers could not recover. The final game, however, the Lakers played really, really well. It's actually a shame. I wish that would have been game 3 for them had they lost in that manner, because then they would have just realized, oh, hey, man, let's just keep it close in the third quarter. Thunder went on a run, looked like they were going to end it. They were up 109, 103. Lakers go on a 7-0 run with Marcus Smart getting the and one to go up 110, 111. Thunder score, and then LeBron had an action, and it's tough. I know what LeBron was doing. He Alex Caruso was guarding him. He got by him. He tried to put it off the glass, and my philosophy was, in my playing days, if I'm 8-10 feet out, you got to be a real specialist, especially on the move. You got to be Tim Duncan or somebody to get that off the glass. I would always just try and get that floater straight in the rim. Off the glass, it leaves too many opportunities for it to go elsewhere, and that's what LeBron did. It just kind of came off the glass, and then the Thunder ended up winning. Very, very good, very, very hard-fought game 4. Shai Gilgeous himself said it, great battle by the Lake Show, but they are gone. Sweep, 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 sweep. So that's what's going on there. But the other 2 series, I predicted 7 in both of those series, and so we'll see. I predicted the Spurs in 7, although I do like Ant-Man. I'm kind of rooting for the Timberwolves because I like Ant-Man. He's from Atlanta. I kind of feel like he's a long-lost relative of mine. Any big black cat from the Georgia area, I feel like we related in some type of way. So I like Ant-Man. 2-2, going to San Antonio. We'll see what happens there. And then Cleveland and Detroit basketball. I had the Pistons in 7. Cleveland came back and won both of those games. James Harden showed up in game 3 to close it after having so many turnovers in the first 2 games. And then Donovan Mitchell, the Spider, as they call him, you know what I'm saying? He showed up in game 4, had 40 points in the second half, having 4 points in the first half, had 27 points, I think, in the third quarter, completely balled. So although we have 2 sweeps, we also have 2 games that are definitely have the potential to go 6 or 7 games. So stay tuned. It's exciting, and we're going to see what's happening.
Guys, for all my people that are getting summer body ready, I want to talk about something that many people don't think about, a way to cut sugar. It is simple. It is good. And I'm telling you, you got to try it. Good old sparkling water. This is a natural cranberry clementine flavor from Trader Joe's. So delish. So let me talk about, because again, this is something that's inexpensive, and I'm telling you, it will cut sugar. Now, many of you who's ever wondered what is club soda? It's carbonated water with added minerals like sodium or potassium sulfate. But it has a few practical benefits, nothing magical, something simple. Number 1, well, it helps you burp. No, it helps with hydration. So if you find that plain water is boring, club soda can make it easier to drink more fluids. You can cut up a piece of lime in there, squeeze it, or lemon. Delish. It aids in digestion. That's right. The carbonation can help some people feel relief from like indigestion or bloating, and it may promote a feeling of fullness, right? So if you're trying to watch your calorie intake by drinking one of these, it will make you feel full a lot quicker. It also can support weight management. You know why? It has 0 calories. 0. So this is a great substitute for sugary drinks, guys, like soda or juice. Yes, especially juice. A lot of calories in that. The fizz can also, again, it makes you feel slightly fuller. So this can reduce you actually overeating. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of how I use it for dinner. It's a good mixer alternative. You like vodka? Can fool you real quick. You like Prosecco? Drop this with some orange juice. You think you're drinking a mimosa. Serious. Vodka, soda, lime. Club soda, soda, lime. Right? So this is a healthier mixer for drinks instead of all the sugary sodas, guys, or the tonic water. Tonic water has a lot of sugar in it. I know a lot of people think it does not. look at it. It has a lot of sugar, between 35 sometimes to 50 grams of sugar in a tiny can of tonic water. So this is a great vodka alternative, a great Prosecco alternative, any type of white type of, you know what I'm saying, spritzers like gin. This is just a really great alternative. And then also it contains small amount of minerals. So these amounts are really, really small, so they don't make a major nutritional source or whatever. But this is good. Now, here are the down. We want to talk about it. It can cause bloating or gas, like you guys just heard me belch, right? Some brands contain too much sodium. So if you're watching your sodium, you really want to watch that, especially if you're watching your salt intake. These from Trader Joe's have zero calories, zero fat, zero sodium, zero carbohydrates, zero protein. We want protein. But this is nothing but carbonation and natural flavors. Now, it can be slightly acidic too as well, but it's generally safe for your teeth, so you don't have to worry about that. And trust me, this is a heck of a lot better than sugary, right? We would rather this. I'm sure the dentist would prefer this than sugary sodas, guys. So I just wanted to really share these. I get these from Trader Joe's. They are so super good, so refreshing. And you know, we say get your coffee, get your tea, and get your life. So I'm drinking life first thing in the morning with one of these. And if you squeeze a little lemon, I know a lot of people like to do lemon first thing in the morning. It's a refreshing drink, and it'll also detox you too as well and cut your sugar. What do you think about that, Ant WEEZA?
No, I like that, especially with the mixers. You feel me? Especially with the mixers, to be
Yeah,
honest with you. But no, there you need especially if you're weaning off of, juices or
sugar.
whatnot.
Hmm.
Anybody that knows me, yeah, sugar's, me and sugar, we got a love thing going. You got a love thing going. So I've been weaning off of it majorly it's been about a year now, actually. But even in these last few months, I've even been a little more stringent. So these are very good replacements. And also for the sugar lovers, because I am a sugar lover,
Right.
also for the sugar lovers, just kind of a note, you can wean off of it. And I promise you, what will start to happen is your body will actually start to crave more natural sugars anyway. So instead of like a candy bar or anything like that, you'll actually want to go get some fruit. You'll start to find things like fruit that has that's giving you that satisfying that urge, and it's fruit. It's better for you. And also you start to adjust to how sugar starts to taste in things as well, and you find yourself not wanting it as much. Now, if
Hmm.
you introduce yourself and get hooked, you're going to get rehooked, which is why I just try and stay away from things. But like if I'm in the grocery store now and I walk by and I see cookies, anything like that, it doesn't even move me. In fact, I'm like, nope, I'm
Mm.
not doing any of that because I don't want to go down that road. Your palate actually
Bless me.
adjusts.
Thank you.
Bless you. Your palate actually adjusts, even with oatmeal. Like, just I put a little sugar in there and it's fine, as opposed to before the tea and things of that nature. So just to piggyback off the whole segment, for the sugar lovers, your body actually does wean off of it. You just got to do it.
Absolutely, guys. And you know, we're all about your health. We want you to get healthy, because when you're healthy, you feel better. You're nicer, believe it or not. When
1,000%.
you're nicer,
These are
when toxins run in your body, sometimes it can bring out the worst in you. And if any of you guys are wondering about my medical background, I started college nutrition 2 years and then went on to become a fitness instructor. So I do have that background. However, check with your doctors and make sure that you can do some sparkling water. All right, guys,
right.
I'm about to share this clip with you guys, because this is recent talk. And wow, I'm gonna share this clip. Anthony, are you familiar with the beautiful Cheyenne Bryant? Most men
Cheyenne
are.
Bryant is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that.
Well, everybody's saying she's lying. Okay.
No, I'm just saying that. But no, yes, I am familiar with her. Yes.
You
She
I
is
mean, I don't
easy to
know.
look at.
But Lauren LaRosa had to get her. Like, wait a minute, but this is coming from Ryka TV. But this was from the Breakfast Club. Let's just check out this clip and we're gonna talk about it.
Does she go in on her?
I'm confused. I Google. It says this school's been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there's a third party that has the records. Why contact the third party? That third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years.
Academics
Master Flex?
flex. Yeah. Oh, he lit into her It's so bad. I couldn't play that clip. He was like, I don't know why y'all listen to their sitting parading around like she's a doctor, and there is no trace of her doctorate at all. Now, you heard Cheyenne say, listen, at the end of the day, and on that interview in the Breakfast Club, she gets the cussing. She becomes very defensive. And I don't know where that's coming from, because at first I would think as a doctor, girl, maintain your professionalism. That was my first thought. But then I also think, what has got her so angry? Is it because people are talking too much and I think everybody can get upset? Or is there some truth actually in this story? You know, and people have been ripping her a good one because they're like, girl, you giving us all these lessons on men. Where's your man? He ain't been around. You know, was she a plant? Was she a pretty face that people just thought, oh, we're just going to listen to her? And now the truth is being put out. I really don't know. It was just like about a year ago. That's when I started seeing Cheyenne. She started being everywhere. And then I noticed people just started poking holes in her story, questioning her. Oh, but you don't got a man. Oh, you messing with this guy and benefits, but yet you want to give advice on something. So I think a lot of her credibility, unfortunately, with a lot of people has just dwindled. But if the school is gone, it's gone. What do you think about that, Ant WEEZA?
Well, if the school is gone, it's gone. She, I don't know. It's first time I saw Cheyenne was actually, she wasn't presented as a doctor. She was actually presented more as a life coach.
Right.
And she was on, I think Neva was watching some show, one of the teen mom shows or something, or somewhere. I just happened to see her and she stuck out because she's attractive. So I was, you know, who's this? Right. And then that was just kind of that. And then more and more, you know, you just started to see her more. And then she kind of hit the scene, exploded, and all these kinds of things. And she does, in conversation, bring, she's not valueless, right? She gives good nuggets in conversation.
She does.
She really does. So, I mean, you know, you kind of put the doctor on it. Is she in the same school as Dr. Umar? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things, you know. I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean? I wasn't, when I first heard of her, I don't know if the doctor was in front of her name. I just kind of, she was a life coach, and then it became Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and, you know, more power to you. I ain't hating on the hustle. Pretty face, like you say, but she actually gives good nuggets as well. So is she a plant? Who knows? But it's one of those things where the school you went to, it's no longer accredited. If you find out the school's no longer accredited and you're on this run, is she supposed to come and let the public know that the school's no longer accredited?
Right.
Is that her responsibility? You know, she's getting booked for all these talk shows and all these gigs, and she's on she was on the really, I don't know if she's still on, I'm assuming she's still on, but I just seen clips of her. She's on the really popular, what's the podcast? They travel. We actually went to one when they were down here. It's they do like the relationship podcast. It's like the Black.
Yeah, I think I saw some clips of that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she was on that. You know, like I said, she's on all these talk shows. She's appearing on all these podcasts and all these kinds of things. What's she supposed to do if she found out that it wasn't accredited anymore? She's supposed to call all the people that she has all these gigs for and say, well, my school's no longer accredited, so she can lose out on all the money that she's made making all these appearances. You know, I mean, you know, we can poke holes in her story all day long. I mean, you know, I don't prey on anybody not being successful, but I don't really have a dog in the fight otherwise, whether it happens one way or not, if that makes sense. But I'm not just gonna act like, you know, I don't know what she was supposed to do in that situation. But I know she had a good run, and she's probably still going to have a good run, right? It may be diminished a little bit. You know, there'll be some things that she's going to have to explain, and she's going to have to reinvent herself and probably come with a new angle. And, you know, hopefully she's surrounded herself by a team now that will help her redirect that angle from a marketing standpoint. But, you know, she has a book out and all these kinds of things. She got hooked up with 50 Cent, and, you know, she has all these things going. I don't know when she was supposed to come out and tell people. But, you know, the reality of it is those people that are doctors have went, whether they're doctor in psychiatry, medicine, dentistry, you know, whatever your doctorate is, you professor, whatever the doctorate is, those people have went and earned those. And if your path hasn't earned that moniker before your name, then it shouldn't be before your name. But I'm not going to make that decision.
Mhm.
Just like Dr. Umar. You see, I'm referring him to Dr. Umar. I don't know if any of Dr. Umar's things are real. Let's just keep it a thou wow.
Right.
But I'm not going to remove that, right? I'm going
Right.
to give you the respect you say. I'm going to take you as you are. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, again, when I first heard her, I don't believe the doctor was in front of her name. I believe it was just life coaching, but I could be wrong. Please don't sue me. I don't pay attention to every single thing that she does.
Right.
But you know, I'm not gonna take that away unless she takes that away. So I mean, you know, I will say the people that have gone, us having education backgrounds and knowing people have gone and done that, you know, the people that have earned the doctor moniker, I would say those who have the doctor moniker before their name and you haven't earned it, you just might want to think about the people who have. But I'm not saying that's Cheyenne's case at all. That's just me saying in general.
Absolutely, guys. So y'all check out this cute picture of Cardi and Stefon Diggs. People are saying romantically that they are back together. They're back together. And the reason why they're saying that is over the past few days, together publicly at Diggs' Mother's Day charity event in Washington, D.C., where photos and videos show them being affectionate and smiling together. And multiple entertainment outlets have reported that Cardi is slowly letting him back in after their breakup earlier this year. There also was a video of Diggs' mom opening up this gift from Cardi as well. And so I'm going to have to say, if they are working on things and getting back together, I'm happy for that little boy's sake. You know, we all know relationships go through their trials and tribulations, but if they can make it work for the stability of that little baby boy, more power to them. Ant WEEZA?
I agree with that. I also will say this. If you two being in each other's lives is tumultuous, then it's damaging for the baby, right? So we all have ups and downs. I'm not saying you got to have it all figured out now. You know, you're both in your early 30s, right? You still have, that's still pretty young. I wish I would have realized how young 30 was when I was 30. It's still pretty young. So I'm not saying that, hey, listen, you guys obviously have a certain attraction together, but just be mindful, because is that attraction the thing that created the baby?
Yeah.
Or is it that there is love there, or you guys just move each other that way? Because I know how that goes too. Hey, listen, we've all been, I know I've been there, right? You just, you know, it's the, ooh, you get in the same room and it's, and then you play house for a little bit, and then foundations aren't really the same, and then it's rocky, and then you're in and out of each other's lives. Again, there's ups and downs in every relationship. It's wonderful for the little boy if you happen to be able to work it out.
Right.
Or if you find out you guys are aligned, you guys were separated, and you guys are just aligned, and this is going to be a wonderful environment to bring this young king up in, great. But if this is a tumultuous thing, hopefully one of you can recognize what those patterns are, if it happens to be that, because it's actually the opposite end. I tell people that all the time. Well, I'm here for the baby. You're actually damaging the baby if you're there, because what you're teaching them is to stay in a situation that's terrible.
Right.
And it'd be better for you to separate and then walk through life in that way and teach he or she in that light, as opposed to staying in a situation that you're both miserable in. That's not teaching them anything. In fact, that's impairing their growth with respect to the world that we live in. So that's all I would say. But hey, if they're together, happy for it. They look happy. I ain't mad.
Yeah.
Not mad at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely at all, guys. And so there are these there's this video where, you know, we talked last week about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky might have had some words, you know, and people filmed it, was questioning were they arguing or not having an argument. But there's also a video when Rihanna was talking to, I believe, a cameraman, they said it was. Tyla was kind of standing, and I guess they all was waiting for their cars to pick them up. But if you guys know the historical data, Tyla loves Rihanna, loves her, loves her, loves her, loves her. But you see her just kind of sitting back there, not saying anything. And this viral clip has just went crazy, where people are saying that Rihanna was snubbing her, don't want to be bothered with Tyla. Now, Tyla did do a video, and people are not feeling the video. Tyla looked like she had just woke up in the morning, but Tyla knows she can wake up in the morning because she's so super cute. It doesn't even matter.
Yes,
You know,
right.
makeup on, makeup not, hair this way, hair that way. I'm still cute, and I know it, but let me go ahead and speak on it. And she spoke about how she had met Rihanna previously, and how Rihanna said, "Oh, my baby daddy's calling me," and then she walked off. And so Tyla said this time she saw that Rihanna was kind of busy, and so she just didn't want to have that type of interaction again. And she really hopes when she meets with Rihanna, it'll be more on somewhere that they can sit down and really have a really good conversation. But the question is, does Rihanna just not want to be bothered? Because after Tyla posted that video, well, then Rihanna posted a video with her getting ready for the Met Gala, really giving praise to another African artist. She used another African artist music, and many people are like, yeah, Rihanna is trying to say in so many words, Tyla, she ain't checking for you. Ant WEEZA, what you got to say?
I think that, who knows, it could have just been bad timing for both situations, right?
Yeah.
It could have been the first time she said baby daddy calling, and or the second time, you know, it's at the Met Gala, she was interviewing, Tyler sitting off. Rihanna may not even realize that she was there, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would like to think, because, you know, regardless of what people say about Rihanna, you know, Rihanna is pretty,
Girl's girl, I would say.
yeah,
She's a girl.
absolutely. She actually seems pretty as successful and wealthy and powerful and all these things that she is. She actually really seems, from what I've seen, I haven't had the honor of meeting the queen personally, but just in different interviews or different settings, she actually seems pretty chill and down to earth for the most part, right?
Yeah.
She actually doesn't seem unattainable. That's the word I'm looking for. She doesn't really seem unattainable. There was a video clip of her with a reporter who was asking her questions. It's the co-host for Jenna Bush's show, the black girl that's the co-host for Jenna Bush's show, whatever show that is. She was interviewing her, and Rihanna was just pretty much pouring into her. She was like, well, when was the last time somebody poured into you? She was like, well, you know, I'm just honored to be here and be entertained by people like you. And Rihanna was like, look, but you know, people need to pour into you too. They need to understand that you're worth too, and all the things, and I love you and all the stuff, and you're killing it with the dress and all that kind of scene. And I've seen that in a few different situations, you know, where the camera has caught it. I've seen it in a few different situations that other stars talk about it. Natalie Portman talked about it when she was going through her divorce, and she happened to meet Rihanna, and Rihanna just poured into her and gave her love and all these kinds of things. So she actually seems like she's kind of that person. Who knows? But she kind of seems like she's that person. So I don't know if she did intentionally do it. If she did, the question would be why. Only Rihanna would. I don't know if she feels like she'd be a threat to Rihanna, but who would be? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you guys aren't even in the same weight class. Like, Tyler's like 5'2", 5'3", you like 5'8", 5'9". You know, Bohemian warrior princess queen. Like, you guys are in different weight classes. You don't even occupy the same. And I mean that respectfully. Anybody know me? I like a big old tall girl. I mean that respectfully. Like, you guys would be different if you guys were in the same look, right? Like, you're not even in the same.
Well, there's word that she, you know how they try to put somebody to outdo you. Remember back in the day when Monica and they had Brandy, they were saying that Tyla was kind of put to kind of be that, like Mariah was to Christina Aguilera or Ariana Grande. So they're saying that they think, you know, they're saying that could bother Rihanna, which really has nothing to do with Tyla. Or they're saying there was a comment that Tyla made, like, I want to even be bigger than Rihanna. And people are saying that they think that's why Rihanna's not even, you know, checking with her. But, you know, nobody really knows. She's not, you know, in their conversations. The one thing I will say about Rihanna from what we have, Rihanna's pretty herself. If she F with you, she F with you. If she don't, she don't.
That's
and that's how I was saying. So, you know what I mean? And I know Tyla has this love and respect for her, but I think people tell you exactly. Rihanna's one of those who truly tells you exactly who you are to her. She doesn't fake the funk with anybody. Not that she's being rude or disrespectful, but she'll make it very clear. And I think she's speaking bold on exactly where she stands with that.
For sure.
Not,
I agree.
All right, Jesse Williams. Oh, Jesse. Oh, Jesse. Oh, Jesse, our Black activist Jesse, out there representing the Black community. Jesse went to go marry somebody from the other side, and everybody is up in arms. They go, how dare you want to speak on Black this and Black that, but then you went and married. We ain't here to, Jesse, use a snow, okay? Use a snow, okay? But I am here to tell you, Jesse, okay? And it's funny because she actually favors his ex. When people gotta type, they really do gotta type a lot of times. Even though they are different races, they to me favor. But it's so hard, guys, to find love. And he found it. And he found it. And I think because he found it, I don't care if she ain't got no more melanin in her skin. We should just be happy that he found love. He found somebody who can love him unconditionally. And to me, it shouldn't matter. We've got to, whoever is up in arms, we got to let that go. We got to let this go, guys. We are in such a bigger fight in this world. And race should be the last thing we should be worrying about if people dating. If anything, interracial, that's a good thing because we all on the same team at that point, right? So I think we just have to get past that. And congratulations to them on their recent, nuptials. Nothing but much love to Jesse and his new wife. How about that?
So before I get into that, are they married or are they just dating?
They got married.
Did they?
They got married, dude. They are married. You better hold on. Let me, because I ain't trying to give the wrong information. I think they did a private. Let me see if I can hold on.
And I have a really good take, but I don't know if they're married.
And her name is Alejandra Oniva.
Mm-hmm. You're cute too.
Yeah, she is. She has a very Brazil look to me. So on May the 4th, it was reported that Grey's Anatomy star Jesse Williams privately got married to his Hotel Costiera co-star Alejandra Oniva. And this news on their marriage came from TMZ, which shared that the couple has been married for a few months now after pulling off a super low-key ceremony that flew completely under the radar. Williams and Oniva have yet to publicly comment on their marriage. Well, and that was from swoon.com, but that was from TMZ. Yeah. It's got to be real. But I'm really happy for him because it's hard finding love. It's not easy.
I'll say this.
Here you go.
No, I am the person truly, because we are the most special set of people on planet Earth. Black folk, especially Black folk who grew up in America, we have really special circumstances. So I would be lying if I didn't say that I like to see Black people together. Mm-hmm. That would be a lie. I love it because it runs deeper than just Black folk being together. There's an appreciation that you have when you are with somebody Black because of our circumstances. And it's so easy for us not to appreciate each other. So I am a fan of when we appreciate each other, especially in an intimate setting like a man-woman type situation. With that said, Jesse is super Black. Now, Jesse ain't got to be Black. Let's keep it a buck. Jesse could have went a whole nother route. You know what I'm saying? He super light-skinned. The girls think he cute. All this other kind of stuff. He could have easily played a whole nother card in this. Jesse Black. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Jesse Black. He talks about the Black stuff. He is down for the Black cause, all that thing. He is Wakanda, all this kind of stuff. And I understand they up in arms because a lot of people may not be able to articulate what I just said with respect to seeing Black people together. You're with somebody Black and now you're not with somebody Black, all this kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, Jesse has been with his wife, Erin Drake Lee. She was Black. He had a little stint with Minka Kelly. Now, I don't give a bleep what y'all talking about. Minka Kelly, cute. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Minka Kelly's cute. Then he had a little thing with Taylor Rooks. Now, if you guys don't know who Taylor Rooks is on Amazon Prime. She hosts the NBA special on Amazon Prime with Udonis Haslem, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, and Blake Griffin. She's all over the place now. I don't know what happened. Jesse, I would love to know what happened between you and Taylor Rooks because I would have stopped there. You know what I'm saying? If I was a yo book, I like that chocolate girl. I always have. I don't know what happened there. But if you look Taylor Rooks up, for y'all that don't know, Taylor Rooks is, woo, you talk about, mwah, you know what I'm saying? She is gorgeous. I don't know what happened there, my brother. But blackity black, beautiful, all the things. Then he was with Taylor Page, another beautiful black girl. She's in the movie Zola. She's actually in Kendrick Lamar's video for We Cry Together. She's actually the one featured on that song. You know, another girl, you know what I'm saying? And then he was with Sierra Prado, who's another sister, right? And so now he's with Alejandra, whatever her name is, and she cute too. So I will say this, I am all for, I love seeing black love. I love seeing black people together. I love all these kinds of things. But I remember after my last, before, long time ago, like when I was moving down here, and me and my significant other at that time were going our separate ways. And I remember my sister was teasing me, talking about, no, black girl done did you wrong. You gonna come home with snow and all these kinds of things. And I said, listen, I have a type, clearly. Look at my resume. I clearly have a type. I am that brother that like black girls, all of them. From the lightest of the light to the darkest of the dark, you can look at you better check my files, check my resume. I am that brother who likes sisters. However, and I'm with the gorgeous one right now, but I tell you what, heaven forbid anything, or even at that time, because I'll speak at that time, because this is what I told her. This was my response. It was her and a group of females, and, they started giving me the black girl treatment and all that. I said, listen here, this next time, it's going to be about love. Now, I like what I like. So whoever I like is going to have certain flavors and looks and things of that nature.
Right.
But it's going to be about love. I clearly have what I have as far as preference-wise, or just what I'm attracted to. Yeah. But all women are attractive. And whoever comes along and rocking with your boy, and loves my dirty draws, and loves me and understands me and gets me and champions me and roots me and rubs my head and all that kind of stuff, if it's a sister girl, fantastic. Luckily for the black women of the world, it was a sister girl. But to get you back a little bit, Jesse, if there happens to be someone else, then it's just someone else. Now, that's that. And I can speak on that. I'm just being one. Like I said, you better check my files. I've earned the right to be open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably eliminated a couple of opportunities coming up through the ranks of life because I was so committed and down with the, I probably missed out on a couple chicks, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying this to say, Jesse is clearly down. Now, I do understand this. I will address this though. I do understand though, because there are a lot of cats. I'll speak on brothers. It's both brothers and sisters, but I'll speak on behalf of the brothers. There are a lot of cats who intentionally downplay, second class, or degrade black women based on some false whatever. They can get the fist. No, they can get the fist. Right. I'm not talking about them. Yeah. I'm not talking about them. So them, they get to no excuses. I roast them with y'all because I ain't talking about them.
Oh, we gonna get to the roast in a minute. We gonna get to the roast.
I'll roast. No. You ain't about to. Now we ain't about to do the sisters like that. Like you can keep all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, somebody caught your fancy. They love you. All this kind of things. It is what it is. Some of my favorite people in the world are with others, and I would never tell that person to not be with who they're with just to go be with a sister. This girl is with you. She loves your dirty draw. She's a wonderful person. She fits in with the family and the culture, and she understands everything. I'm not going to tell you to go be with no sister and not be with her simply because of what the world may say. Nah, man, you ride it out with her because she's down with you and loves your dirty draws. So, but if we're out here on some, I only date this, I don't date black girls because of this and all that, you can miss it. But I'm not feeling none of that. You can get the fist with that. Y'all can get lost pretty much.
Period.
If you're on that. But he found love. Like I say, she cute.
For him. Yeah.
And I wouldn't think that Jesse would be with somebody and sacrifice what he's always been down with, right? James Earl Jones, Sidney Poitier, and the list goes on, right? We can go a newer school. What's my man who played Luke Cage? He was in Girls Trip. He was Regina Hall's the cheating husband in Girls Trip. He's with a snow bunny, and he represents the cause and all the things. So I understand it's a fine line, y'all, especially sister girls. I get it, right? In a world where we're not being appreciated, both sides, I understand, and I understand it's easier for a man in a lot of ways to go, although the sister girls are stepping out, you know what I'm saying? So brothers, we can't be saying a lot, when they start stepping out, but I understand. I'm not saying I'm not with you. I'm just saying, again, me and my sisters had this conversation. Me and Neva's had it. Like, listen, hey, man, love is where it is. So it would be great if it were here, but if it happens to be here, salute.
I know, guys. So as you guys know, there was a roast on Wild Now between DDG and Nick Cannon, but the real roast that everyone is talking about is Kevin Hart's Netflix special, which let's give a clap up for his daggone Netflix special, because that means Kevin Hart is definitely bringing some money. So you guys know I do stand up. I love comedy. Although my last big production was a drama, and if you guys have not heard, the stage play Broken is going to New York. Give it up. So, yes, we're excited. We will be in New York in the fall, I believe October. But when I get more details for people that are in New York, please come out and support this off-Broadway production. And also, I do want to say before I get into this roast, guys, we had some audio issues with one of our guests last week. So we do apologize. We got your comments. We saw them. We do apologize for that. And we do hope that everybody had a good Mother's Day. I'm wearing one of my gifts. It actually, Ant Wow, it is Topaz for our birth month. And then my name, Lisa Renee, on it. So I hope all the mothers had a good Mother's Day. I forgot to say that earlier. But let's get into roasting, guys. And I want to talk about what a roast is. And then I want to go into some of the issues that people actually had. And feel free to jump in at any point. So let me talk what a roast is. So a roast is traditionally designed to be edgy, uncomfortable, and provocative. That's part of the format that people sign up for. At the same time, audience today are just much more sensitive when there's things that have to do with the R word, the G word, the S word, the trauma, or personal appearance. So some viewers feel comedy is comedy, while others believe certain topics stop being funny when they reinforce harmful stereotypes. So social media changes everything because clips go viral and you don't see the full context. So one joke can spark outrage. So let's go into that. And we talked about that. People are talking about Dwayne Johnson. He caught criticism for the R word during a joke. Pete Davidson sparked outrage for talking about what happened to Charlie Kirk. And they felt that he was crossing the line between edgy and comedy. You also had another point of backlash with comedians like Cheryl Underwood talking about her late husband and the S word. And at the same time, a lot of people, I think the big one that people were really seemed to be very bothered by, that I heard the most talk, was Tony, I think it's Hinchcliffe, who is a stand-up comedian. And he made references to George Floyd and other things that was happening. And someone who was physically there said the room kind of got quiet. But here's the thing. If you know anything about Tony, he's one of these people, you think he's brilliant or you think he goes too far. This is a style of comedy. He obviously was invited there. And so therefore, I think people shouldn't have been shocked, because he has always done this type of, he leans into like this dark type of humor, the shock type of jokes, this politically incorrect type of comedy. That's kind of his style. And so if you don't know that, you probably could have been a little bit offended by it. Cheryl Underwood is talking about somebody who's very close to her. So the only person that could have really been offended is her. And she wasn't offended actually talking about it. But I think the one point that brought up before I pass the baton to Ant Wow that I really love, that Kevin Hart and Katt Williams made amends. And it was so beautiful to see these men make amends, as they get older, and you know what I mean? It just was so good. He was a special guest and came out. And I think that was the most beautiful part, really, of the night. Ant WEEZA?
Yeah, that was the star of the night for me.
Yeah.
They have been going, well, I want to say they've been going back and forth. Katt Williams really started it, and at times Kevin Hart has had to defend himself, and the reality of it is, Katt Williams is coming from the place of, like when he says something like, you stole this from me, you stole this from me. Well, he's right in this sense. The space that Kevin Hart occupies, they gave it to Katt first. For whatever reason, Katt didn't capitalize on it the same way. Kevin Hart's time came around, and Kevin Hart completely capitalized on it.
Yeah.
Right? Completely. He's taken that baton and has ran and has not fell off. Right? Doesn't matter. Movies, stand-up shows, what's the show he has when he had interviewing people? Like, he completely stepped into it. And then he also has kind of kept himself relevant on the streaming side of things with being very cool with Drewski and what's Kat Sanat and all these guys. K Sanat, sorry. So he's stepped into that play, whereas Katt had some difficulties, right? Just when Katt did Pimp Chronicles, that was boom. That was the moment that was supposed to be Katt's moment, right? That was in my opinion, that was okay, man, all eyes on you, bruh. You come take this slot. Like the Money Mike character from Friday and these little things that you're doing. Here's your slot, bruh. Come take it. Like, this is you. Because Pimp Chronicles is one of the better stand-ups you could ever watch. It's hilarious. And he just had some issues and whatnot. And as a result, that spot never really fully got stepped into. Kevin Hart comes around, takes a ground, what's the real grassroots approach to it. Just started doing all these shows, doing all these things, having them filmed, selling them. And he just continued to go. He just continued. A lot of people feel Katt Williams is a lot more naturally funny than Kevin Hart, right? But Kevin Hart, I will always salute Kevin Hart. Business-wise, opportunity-wise, he's taken this and he stepped into the door and he flung it open. Yeah. And as a result, we have the Kevin Hart that we have today. So Katt just has always kind of felt that way, kind of felt that, in Kevin Hart getting granted that slot that he was a plant and, that he was chosen and all these kinds of things and didn't deserve the spot and whatever. That's always been Katt Williams' stance on it. And so as a result, they've gone back and forth because Kevin Hart, after a while, you got to say something, right? You can't just sit here and take all of this. But for it to come to where it is, because Katt is brilliant. He's super, he's genius level smart. He is super funny. He's a really good actor. Unless you haven't seen him on Atlanta, he's a really good actor. In fact, I think
writer too, I would say. Excellent writer of jokes.
Yeah, he's super talented. So for that to happen, it was awesome. I hope it stays the course. I hope that, I'm not saying they got to be buddy, but I hope that level of respect within each other stays the most, because regardless of whether you guys want to think it or not, talking to Kevin and Katt, you guys bring out the best in each other. Absolutely. Right? That's the kind of some of the apex that people are reaching for, talent-wise in Katt, success-wise in Kevin, and on both of you. So I just hope that was an awesome moment. We love to see it. I'm glad Kevin jumped it off. I just hope that they're able to work in this space going forward, because it was awesome to see.
Absolutely. And this hasn't been confirmed, and it's unfortunate this will come out, but it looks like a maid had mentioned that Kevin Hart's wife, Anotha Hart, was very nasty, in saying that she didn't treat his kids good, and questioned about, Kevin giving his kids money and things like that. It hasn't been confirmed, but it is out there circulating. And I noticed a lot of men commentators say that's his kids and that's his money and he can do whatever he wants to do with it. But I will speak from a woman's perspective. That's his wife. They manage the money together. She does have to manage what goes out and not goes out. So I don't know if it's true. It could just be internet gossip, but I know that that's also being talked behind the scenes as well. I said, Lord, boy, you got to be careful. If it is true, you got to be careful who you hire. I swear to goodness, 'cause they will come out and tell your business. Right. So anyway, guys, there is some talks about, and I don't know, this might be more of a question and you guys can answer this for. So Todd posted a very beautiful picture of him and Candy and their kids, and he wished her a happy Mother's Day. I know Neyo did some posts too as well. Neyo was kind of upset too, and people still is clowning him about his polyamorous relationship, and he's not having it. But a lot of people were talking about the conversation like, hey, you got other baby mamas. So like Neyo got other baby mamas. Todd got another mother of his child. Why would you acknowledge one and not acknowledge all of them? And I would say, because you're acknowledging one, but then people are like, but you're slighting another one too as well. And I really can't answer what's the right answer for everyone, because I think everybody's situation is individually different, right? So I'll use mine. I definitely may say Happy Father's Day to Julian, but I might not necessarily say Happy Father's Day to my son's father. And that's because of personal reasons. So you can't automatically think just because someone does a post with who they're currently with or who they currently divorced that they have to acknowledge everybody, because everybody's situation and the way it ends could just be a little bit different. What do you think about that, Ant WEEZA?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, in a perfect world, you would want to be able to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day that has especially I'm just speaking from a man now, from a lion, with the pride and all, somebody who's bared your child and has birthed your seed, you would want to, right? That would be the hope. But again, like you said, I would be very surprised if you wished a happy Father's Day to,
Yeah.
Angel's father, based on, I'll just say overall, just keeping it high level, those wishes you got to earn, right? You got to earn those.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be ingenuine either, so you don't want to then, if you're not feeling that way, you don't want to then do something ingenuine.
Okay.
So I think it's just kind of one of those situations where, you never know what the personal story is. Obviously, it would be great if you could wish everybody, or maybe you just don't. Maybe you don't have to do that where the world can dissect it. Maybe you just take your time and do it individually. I know we're in a climate now where everything has to be done where the world can weigh in on it, but maybe you do that privately, and that way we don't have anything to say. So that could be an option as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Woo, we had a life, Neyo, anything to say about Neyo? Neyo, people are still talking about this polyamorous relationship. And I listened to Ricky Smiley's show, such a good morning show. And Gary with the T just cracks me up. But anyway, they basically was saying, as men, if everybody is in it, then there really shouldn't be a problem. I think from a lot of women's perspective is like, would you be okay with your daughter being a part of that tribe? And I don't know if Neyo has ever answered that question. I would say that he would be okay with it. I think if he just talks to his girls and let them understand what it's like, but I don't know. But I think that's some of the angst of it, that, you have daughters. What example are you setting for them? But I think Neyo is at the point like, hey, this is from what I gather, and you can correct me. I've made so many mistakes with cheating. I'm really trying not to do that. And at this point in my life as a man, this is the best way that I can avoid cheating. Everyone knows I'm being honest. I'm not going behind anybody's back. It's not traditional, but polyamorous has been around, for years. So it's not something very new. And I think he's just at a point in his life, he's trying to be that's what I get. He's trying to be as honest as he possibly can. Ant WEEZA?
Yeah, some of the most powerful men in the world are in polyamorous relationships. We may not know it. It may not present that way, but we all know that they are. That's number one. Number two, I want to address something.
Mm-hmm.
Would his daughter be okay? Would he be okay if his daughter did it? He might not. That ain't got nothing to do with him. Two things don't have to always be the same. I'm doing this, like you said. The reasons, whether people agree with it or not, are actually kind of stand up why he's doing that. He, after his last relationship, he was very clear. I do not want to lie. I don't want to lie. I don't want to cheat. I don't want to mislead. I do not want to put another woman through what I put this person through. I do not. It's not something I'm into. I don't want to. This is what's happening with me. And if you're not with it, I understand. Like, hey, listen, you don't have to be with it. This is what's happening with me. So if you're cool with it, cool. If you're not, you're not. He's not deceiving anybody. He's not manipulating anybody. Everybody is willingly into that. Now, that doesn't then mean he's going to preach to his daughter, hey, go be in this relationship. Not at all. In fact, he has the right to be like, look, this is probably something you shouldn't do. But for me, this is what's going to work for me, right? Make your own decisions. I know it's hypocritical probably for me to say, don't go be in this as a result of what I'm doing, but I can't speak to another man's intentions. I can speak to mine. And I know my intentions in this relationship are honorable. If you go be with another man, I can't tell you what those intentions are. He might have you on some other stuff. Right. So hopefully through my teachings, I'm giving you the qualities that you can look for in a man that makes you want to decide what it is you want to do. I know my intentions. I can't speak for anybody else's. So I understand people, would you want your daughter and all that, but two things can be true at the same time. This could be something he's cool and he may not want his daughter to be in it as well. And that just comes between him and communication.
So I guess that's a really tough thing because I guess it's like alcohol. I guess if you drink alcohol, no, you necessarily wouldn't want your children to drink it, right? But when they get of age, could they? So I don't know. That's I think that would be hypocritical if he wouldn't want his daughters to be a part of it because, Daddy, if it's good for you, why is it not good for me? I'm just
Because
saying.
you ain't me.
True. True that. I mean, true that. All right, guys. So as you know, we definitely like to inspire you. We want you to go on your weekend, not letting negative thoughts get the best of you. If you had a tough week, that's okay. We want you to have a good weekend. So we try to give you something uplifting if you are new to us. And so we try to give you an inspirational quote to kind of think about. So here is our quote for today. Your life does not have to look perfect to be powerful. Keep showing up, keep growing, and trust that every small step is building something bigger than you can see. And wow, you want to take that or do you want me to take it?
No, I'll jump into it.
This is a good one, yeah.
No, this is a really good one. This is an affirmation.
Yeah.
Because I'll speak personally and for
As
whoever
you can see who it's by, it really is.
Yeah, it's affirmation. It's affirmational because, a lot of times when you're blessed and burdened to think and feel a certain way, a lot of times your existence is a very thankless one, right? It's a very thankless one. Because you're the strong, I remember hearing Royce say this in music a while ago, and I know people kind of jumped on it and then it just kind of faded away. I think it's a permanent hashtag, check on your strong friends, right?
Oh.
Check on your strong friends, because you never know what they're walking through. Every time they show up, they're smiling and it's this, that, and they're giving you the energy. They're blessing you with their presence and giving you this energy. But then when you leave them, because every time you see them, they may be doing that, you may not have any idea of what bootstraps it's taking them to pull up to be able to give you that for the time that they're giving it to you. And a lot of times, I don't want to say it's taken for granted, but I think it gets overlooked. And that can start to question you. You can start questioning your impact for people, right? I do every day, every single day. if something were to happen tragic to me, dang, who would really, like, if something were to happen, who would really miss me? You know, like, you can't help but, I would hope so, you know, but, you know, a lot of people that you've been with your whole life, you know, certain things happen and you get on the other side of each other and it's like, there's no check-in, there's no nothing, like, there's no anything. Like, you're like, well, how much would somebody really miss me if I wasn't here? Like, people would be sad. People would show up, all these kinds of things, you know, but like, how many people would be affected if I wasn't here, right? It's kind of just one of those things that happens when you're going through life, and if things are taking longer than you had anticipated, or things aren't quite going your way, or even if things are going fine, but you have to deal with a lot of this your own. Me and Lisa talk about it. Like, I have to do a lot of self-talks, a lot, you know, to be able to give you guys this, you know, and that's saying a lot, because my disposition naturally is an upbeat person, right? I ain't no punk. I ain't about none of that, but I was fortunate enough to grow up around, even in the street situations, I was fortunate enough to grow up around cats who were in the streets, who still had this disposition. They still like to laugh and joke. And, you know, you go on the corner and them cats was out there joking and laughing, and, you know, they was picking you up and they was talking, you know, that kind of stuff. So I was always kind of comfortable. And then the person who I idolized from a male figure the most, Big Chuck, he always embodied that. And you can tell me he wasn't the biggest man walking planet Earth. You couldn't tell me he wasn't a man's man, right? So I was always comfortable in that. But there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors. The last few years, a lot has changed. My whole existence has changed. And so when then people don't turn around and see how you're doing, right? You wonder, dang, how much impact am I really making?
Right.
You know? But then the only thing you have is, well, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it again. And we'll see, you know, until you say, all right, young fella, that's enough. Come be with me. Until then, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
But man, it does help when you give me nuggets every now and again, because it can be a little lonely on that rope when you don't know who you're actually affecting, or if anybody's actually really paying attention. You know, they know that you're here, but are they really paying attention?
Yeah.
Right? Are they really paying attention? Because if they would, there's certain questions that they would ask you without you having to, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they really paying attention? So, you know, you just hope, right? And then people that you come across, you call them, they don't call you back. You do these things. This is a faith-based journey that we're on, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking personally, it's a very faith-based journey. So quotes like this are the things that you got to replay in your head to keep you, hey man, I'm affecting somebody. Even if not, I am able to visualize what that effect looks like. So then I'll take that gift too, and I'll try and apply it to myself as much as possible, right? I know what it looks like when somebody affects somebody a certain way, and I have been in positions to affect somebody a certain way. Hopefully I can nestle those moments up and keep them and continuously feed on them as the grind gets hard. But I'll show up, because I don't feel like you would have blessed me with all this if I wasn't supposed to show up. But man, I'm human, and sometimes you need to throw your boy a bone. So
Absolutely.
this is why I started this whole soliloquy and saying this is affirmation, because this is something you need to replay, because you don't have to look perfect to be powerful. Keep showing up, keep growing, and trust that every small step is building something bigger that you can see.
Absolutely.
And that's that.
Absolutely, Ace. That was so good. And so when Ant WEEZA says affirmation, repeating that over and over and over and over again. So your life does not have to look perfect to be powerful. Keep showing up, keep growing, and trust that every small step is building something bigger than you can see. So your life doesn't have to look perfect to be powerful. Stop waiting for everything to be flawless before believing in yourself. Keep showing up, keep growing. Even on your hard days, consistency matters more than perfection. and trust that every small step is building something bigger than you can see. Progress is often happening quietly before the results become visible. Sometimes the greatest growth is happening in seasons where nobody is clapping for you yet. I love you guys. God bless you. We will see you here every Friday on Anotha Mother at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, y'all. Bye.